This is the Tat Chat with Electric Linda.
Yeah. Sorry about that sound. I don't know why that shows up just because. Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Tat Chat. And this cameras. Okay. Stay there. Stay there, please. Okay. Lock it. No, he doesn't want to lock. Okay. Lock, please. Okay. Hi. Hi, Dylan. Hi, Dawn. Nocturama. Nate. Loomis. Emo. Linda, you're spoiling us with all these lives. Yes, I know. I know. It's more like I'm spoiling myself. Look at these. Oh, my God. I can't wait to get these out. Okay, guys. I'm just sorry about me nerding. You know, everything is like new. Now it's everything is new because I'm playing around. I'm serious about this live streaming thing. I just think it's so much freaking fun. I can't help myself. It's like I dream about this. It's like what I don't know if any one of you saw this. I've been streaming gaming at home in my bedroom. Ta-da! I played World of Warcraft. And that was so nice. It was such a chill stream. It was so nice. It was just like, I was just, gaming. I was just chilling. And I was chatting with you at the same time. It was amazing. So, yes, I want to do that again. That's going to happen more often. And I also streamed a muted live tattooing session a few days ago. Just to test it. So now I'm in the testing zone. So sorry guys. So good evening, Dylan, and hi Dawn. Hi from France. And Dr. Rama, you're in France? I didn't know that. Nate, I'd say that if the reference photo doesn't have a dynamic lighting, too fuzzy, too small, those are some reasons I refuse clients. Yes, I thought we're gonna do some. You guys are gonna help me, and we're gonna have this discussion and talk about, why do tattoo artists refuse tattoos? So you're gonna help me, but let's say more hello. Hi, Emo and Wendy Lucas. Hello. Long time ago. Oh, I'm waving at the camera. That's why. No, please. Okay. Jewelers, Celia, hello. Dawn, Anders, Lonnie Pratt, hello. Ruby B. And most likely to be late for class and not caring, hello. Deborah Beechler, John Hall from California. April, I finally had the time to, without being at work. Whoop, whoop, yes. Hello, awesome. Nate, we love your nerding. Yes, thank you. Me too. Nerdy and flirty is a style. I have glasses for that purpose only. Okay, yep. Greetings from Los Angeles, LA, yay. Hey from Pennsylvania. Hi, Clay. Hello. Christina. And Jennifer from Texas. Ivan from Croatia. Oh, I want to go back to Croatia. I want to have a vacation there. So, okay, you guys, I'm updated with the chat. As you see, I'm just playing around with these new overlays. I think it's a lot of fun, just because, it's a lot of fun. And I finally figured out a way how to have one sort of events list, like this one, on the Tat Chat with one kind of layout, font, and everything, and then have another one in my streaming at home. So a little nerdy bits there. So, because I want to have like one visual identity of the Tat Chat, I waved at the camera again, sorry. So, no waving. Unlock and tap lock. Okay. There we go. No, There we go. Sometimes I love this camera and sometimes I hate it. Hi from Michigan, Nate Loomis, Lori Vasquez, hello, hello, and Nabiak, hello from Northeast India. Nice to see you. Nice to see you too. Nice to have you guys here in the chat. So, and as I mentioned, I'm testing out sort of a new streaming widget device. So, and this is the first time I'm using it. So forgive me if something goes wrong with alerts or something, but there are alerts. So, what's up, David? Hi, Jesse. Wendy Lucas. Yes, I'm getting fancy. Yes, I'm getting there. You know, it's all about leveling up. It's like that's my look. I have some small little details here. You know. Just testing. Okay, no waving at the camera. But yeah, you said it was Nate that said with a fuzzy and a not a good lighting. So I would say, why would a tattoo artist refuse a tattoo? Well, I would say it's a bad photo reference. Oh yeah, okay. Photo reference. There we go. Right. And I refused. Hazes. I refused to do a touch-up on my brother's co-worker because I felt I wasn't 100% confident on other people yet. Yes. That's another reason why you refuse. I would say then that the reason would be that's a tricky one, because I think you shouldn't refuse because you are not 100% confident. So confidence is, in my opinion, a bad refusal, if you know what I mean. It's because I'm an optimist. I think if you want to level up, you should do something. You should try those things that are not confident, that are difficult for you. You have to do those uncomfortable things. So I think that's not on my list, actually. It's not going to be on my list. But when the eye tattoo craze came around, did you get a lot of people trying to come to get? Not really, no. I think I had questions like if I've done any, but I've never had a request for it. But people know that I don't do small tattoos, or I do usually bigger, like photo realism, and I don't take my requests directly. I don't go through them. It's they go through the shop, and then they just get booked because the shop managers, they know what I do and what I don't do. But I don't think that the shop has had many of those requests. I do a good job on my legs though. But yeah, well, you do that. But then I just think, Jesus, that that you, is that like you did you change your username, Jesus? But yeah, I love to hear you say that. Good, Nate. Whenever I'm not confident in something, I will do a trial run on fake skin before I do the tattoo. That's a good thing. Of course, that you can do that. Yes, awesome. Okay, so it's you, Jesus. Jesus. Okay. Yes, I'm an optimist, right? So for me, I like to I like to sort of push people a little bit, because I usually push myself a lot as well. you know. So I love doing tattoos that are difficult and that people say no to, you know, that the other artists don't want to do because it's hard. I'm like, oh yeah, then give it to me, I'll do it. The harder it is to tattoo it, the better, because I want to level up. I don't want to stay where I am, you know. And that's what I'm sort of just trying to remind people. And that's in everything. That's in, you know, singing or playing the piano, drawing, running, you know, it can be anything. Fingerprint tattoos, yeah. Well, you can do them. It just you have to do them quite bigger, you know. I had to refuse Nazi tattoo, but he says it's a swastika Buddha symbol. Yeah, that's on my list. I would say, like, I would call it maybe provoking, provocative, provoking motives. Like, and that can be like Nazi tattoos, you know, like white power, black power, political, very like strong opinions, political strong opinions. But that's my what I refuse, because I would say I don't want to do anything. But I'm an artist. I want to be proud of my work. So it's sort of like it goes under. I did note that. Where did I note that? Yes. Sorry, I did note this. There we go. No, it's not. There it is. Yes, I've noted like the main categories in three categories. So one category is the artistic category, right? So if I would refuse something out of an artistic opinion, it's because I have an artistic integrity. Like I said, I want to be proud of the tattoos, because when I am finished with my tattoo, I don't see it anymore, in a way. But you carry it around. The client carries the tattoo around their whole life as a walking business card, you know, for me. So I want to be proud of that work. You bloody camera. I want to be proud of that work. Look, okay, it's nice because it's following me around and everything, so that's good. But anyway, I want to be proud of my work because it's going to stay. He's going to walk around, the client's going to walk around forever, really. So, yeah. So, what I said, artistic integrity. I, as an artist, like to do this kind of art. And not all, a lot of tattoo artists feel more like they are an artist than a tattooer. Like we used to have tattooers, where we just had flash in the shop. It wasn't the artist, the tattoo artist, that had done these. They were bought from other artists, and the tattooers just copied them. They did everything. It was normal back then. You did everything. And now, during the latest 20 years, tattoo artists are developing into this integrity artist that wants to do their thing. And it's about their style, you know, and it's about their pride. that they, like, I want to be proud of my work, like I said, when you walk around. So that was one category, the artistic category. I'm going to see what you're saying right now. Sorry. I also refuse the touch-up because it's someone else's work. So you refuse touching up someone else's work. Then I would say, I would just ask why. Is it because it's is it provoking? Is it an artistic thing that it's like, or is it the old-fashioned biker style territorial thing that because it's someone else's work, I'm not touching it. I'm just like super honest because I feel that is so, in a way, it's selfish. The client doesn't want to go back to that artist, or else they would have done that. So there's a reason why the client is asking you to touch up this tattoo that another tattoo artist did. And I just think it's a little bit selfish to refuse just because it's someone else, another tattoo artist that did it. The tattoo was a cross and it was like 20 years old. So make it your own. I mean, touch up, make it a nice touch up in your style. Like push the limits, make this cross like the most beautiful cross you've ever seen. Crush it, like, instead of like, no, I'm not going to touch it because it's old and it's like, it's not really cool. And you're refusing money, you're refusing experience. I mean, if you're fully booked for months and months and you don't have the time to do it, well then yes, then you can start refusing those. But if you have available time tomorrow or, next week, why would you turn it down if you know that you could do it and you could do it better than it is? And remember, to touch up something, to give a glow up on a tattoo, the effect that it has on the before and after picture, when people see that, the before picture, and then you're like crushing this, like bam, look at this now, that has a big effect. The tattoos that I have that have the most views and engagements and likes and everything on Instagram are the big cover-ups, the difficult ones, the cover-up on a big black tribal, and I try to make a masterpiece every single time, even though it's a big black blobby tribal. I make it work and I make it, I want to crush it. I want people to see this before and after picture. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of competition sort of mentality in it as well. I won't tattoo any symbols. I don't want my name associated with, like anything with a negative or evil connection. Yes, or connotation, yeah. That's like what I mean with the provocative thing. So that's in my next category, which is moral, or moral, mental, emotional. So that's all about political views and stuff like that. If it's provoking, it's maybe, some people, some want to do like more sexual motives or photos. Some want to do that because it's provoking, and then you get more views and hype on social media. So, and I also, in this moral category, as you said, something that has to do with anything that is negative. I refuse to do something that is super negative, really, in any way. And I also, when I say provoking, it can be anything like from, something yucky, a man vomiting or whatever. Or it can be maybe like I've talked about earlier in one of my videos, that like I've had clients that wanted a photo of their dead baby. And then I am really, because if it's a photo of an actual dead baby, I'm super cautious, of course, and very gentle. And I talk to them like very human, and like I really don't want to offend anyone. But I tell them honestly, like, try to imagine having this photo on the entire living room wall, like a wallpaper. And every dinner, every breakfast, every dinner with the family, Christmas, hanging out in the Saturday night playing Yahtzee, whatever. And every day you're going to look at this photo for the rest of your life. Is that something you want to do? Because that's what it feels like when you tattoo something. You will look at it and you will see it every single day, reminding you of something that is, of course, very sad. So I try to sort of transcend this, or transform the whole conversation into, how can we instead make this into a positive thing? Not having to look at a dead baby, but maybe, have some part of the baby's face, like the eye, something, mouth or hair, and just blend it with some nice landscape, sky, clouds, birds. You could try to be more creative and do something that is more like an artistic, beautiful artwork that still, you know what I mean? So that is one of my ways of trying to blend or bend the rules a little bit, so that people feel like they get what they want, but still I don't have to refuse something that I think is provoking, right? Sorry, I'm losing the chat now. Hi, beautiful. Thank you. How long does a cover-up tattoo last for? Will a person have to go back and get it touched up when they get older? And will the old tattoo show up later on down the road when the person hit a certain age? No, it's not really like that. But I would say it takes 3 months for ink to sink down to the sort of average, the normal area level inside the skin, that it's going to stay. And on that level, that area is also the old ink. So what I say is, I usually say that we do the cover-up. We need to have several sessions on a cover-up. It's not like a one-time thing. A cover-up, in my because I do in layers, because I paint, and I don't want to do just a big black blob. I want to do something that is impossible, but then I have to do it in layers. And then when we're done with the cover-up, then we have one more session 3 months later to have that final like control thing, just to like check that everything is okay. And then after that, it should stay like that forever. But I mean, of course, all tattoos fade over time, but the cover-up, it's not gonna try to. The old tattoo is not gonna show up like 3 years later. So if it shows up, it's after those, well, around those three months. Linda, this may be off topic, but is it weird to ask a tattoo artist just to draw a portrait? Well, sort of and not. I would say, like, if you find a tattoo artist that is really good at portraits, and then of course you could ask, but I don't do commissions on drawing portraits because I really don't have the time. I was like, and if I compete with the price of a tattoo, and then that would be a very expensive drawing. You know what I mean? Because of my time rate, my hourly rate, and like portrait rate and stuff. So because it's my time that I charge for. So that would be an expensive drawing. But some artists might do that. So, I mean, you can, of course, you can just ask. I mean, your question was, is it weird to ask a tattoo? I mean, it's not weird to ask anything. I think you should be able to ask anything to anyone, right? I'll be lurking today. Good, Norway. Good to have you around, though. Let's see. That's a good point with the before and after pics. Yes, of course it is. I've refused clients more than tattoos. I've refused 1 or 2 clients for poor hygiene. Yes, and one for just having a very poor attitude. That's another good category, actually. That's great. I'm gonna add that. So that'll be more like client issues, right? With, for example, bad hygiene. There we go. No, Siri, I wasn't talking to you. Bad hygiene and poor attitude, really good. Yes. Great, 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 Amber. Wendy Lucas, I remember you telling that story because it made me remember my cousin tried to serve me a cake with her stillborn pics on it. I couldn't look at it, right? And I mean, I think, of course, when you sadly lose, someone you love, and especially when it's your little child, your little innocent newborn child, it's like the world just crumbles and everything just feels, awful. And you want to sort of tribute to this person that, this life that you lost. And I mean, of course, this is such an emotional thing. But I think that when you go through this, you can't really think about, or it's not easy to think about what others around you feel about this, because this is such a crazy, like, intense thing. So, and that's why I think it's, of course, I try to, like, be really humble and human, or whatever it's called, like humble and nice and gentle, careful when I talk to the kids. And I just try to, like I said, just like bend the artwork a little bit, so that I can still make it into something that I could be proud of artistically. Try to make a masterpiece out of my client's idea, situation, story, but then try to do that in another way so that the clients still get what they want, but I also sort of keep my artistic integrity, Way too late again, but hi, Lucas. It's nice to have you here. Linda, where was the tattoo session with Paula? Huh? Who? Paula? Where was the tattoo session with Paula? I don't know what you mean with that. I heard a person say they keep the picture of a tattoo they want in their phone wallpaper for a month before they get it, just to make sure it's something they enjoy looking at every day. That's good. That's something that they could do, to make sure that they're like really, really like, this is what I want. Yes, I know this now. I also refuse color tattoo because they don't last long and usually fade away. Colors don't fade faster than black. It has nothing to do with that. So that's just BS, in my opinion. I do color tattoos, and it does not fade more than black and gray. That's a fact. But, however, it's all about the techniques. If you, because colors are not as visually, they don't have that much contrast to your eye visually as the black has, because black on skin is this is much more visible than the pink. But that's just because it's darker. You know, it's black. So visually, the black looks brighter than the pink. So it's all about like, I mean, look at my arm here. So this wasn't even finished, but I mean, the black has faded almost more than the blue. And this is a 20-year-old tattoo. It has never been touched up. So, I mean, so that, in my opinion, is just bullshit. It's not a fact at all. But it's about the technique and the experience. Are you good at color tattoos? Do you want to be good at color tattoos? Or maybe not. Maybe you're just like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Then it's okay. But then, you know, you're only going to be doing black and gray. A lot of people are just doing black and gray. So you have even more competition. I see people with neck tattoos. It looks good, but it's harder. But is it harder since it's a sensitive area? No, it's not more. I mean, it's sensitive, but it's not harder to do a tattoo on a sensitive area in a way. It's more about some places are harder than others, but that's there are more different kind of reasons for that. But yeah, I think neck tattoos, it's more like it's harder to do, and especially here, neck tattoos can be harder because, not because it's sensitive, but it's because it's a joint. It's like, this is something that is moving around a lot. So this skin is often a little bit rougher and like more tougher than the skin on your lower arm here. This skin is often very like soft, but also yeah, it's difficult to say, but you know what I mean. So this is often a little rougher, this skin, because it's like moving a lot, and it, you know, has, yeah, it's difficult to explain. I'm not always good at explaining everything. I'm just here to drink whiskey and listen to Linda, and I'm all out of whiskey, and that's too bad for you then, Robert. Jewelers, I could see something turning a client away due to client-related issues in a walk-in shop. Yes. How would an artist go about doing this when appointment only? I mean, the client, non-assuming, shows up and gets turned away because they're unknowingly smelly. Yeah, I've had sort of appointments only, like for as long as I can remember. And even though it's an appointment only, I had turned people away because they smelled awful. And I would just tell them, like, I'm sorry, this is not like, I would say it as politely as I can, but I don't think today is a good day for you to get tattooed. Like, for example, just like there is an odor coming from you, and I don't know if it's you or maybe your clothing, but I think you should go home and come back whenever you're like very newly, you know, have a good shower and some clean clothes before you come in here. And I would appreciate that, and just tell them that in like a nice way. Linda, sorry, my bad. I mean Phoebe. Where was the tattoo session with Phoebe? Well, I didn't have one with her, and she canceled the next appointments. Yeah, but we don't have anything really planned, and I'm gonna tattoo her in Stockholm anyway. So yeah, we canceled the next sessions right now, and it's summertime, and she wants to go swimming, I guess so. But yeah, I'll tattoo her in Stockholm, the Stockholm Ink Bash in August. Black pigments reflects all colors of light, so it looks darker than colors which only reflect light in the color intended. That's right, Amber. A little bit more professional than what I what I was able to get out of my mouth. I inquired about getting a neck tattoo recently, and the tattooist said they would only do it as part of a torso or back piece. Can understand why it will flow better like that. It will flow better like that, but it's all about, some artists just want to do big things, big projects, and some want to do the smaller ones. So I mean, it depends on what you want. It's your body, so it depends on what you want. What colors go well with African American skin? I'm brown skin, but not that dark. I would say contrast is the key. So I would say the best things are to use, for example, contrast colors, meaning blue to orange, and the orange might not look very saturated in your skin, but it will work next to blue. If you work with blue and orange together, or red and green together, or more like purple to yellow. But yellow is also a color that might not be doing so well on your skin because your skin is on top of the color. So your brown tones is going to be on top of the yellow, making the yellow look more brown. So it's not going to look very yellow, sadly. So I would go from either from like darker, like orange, or over to red, to have some of the warm colors, like flamey colors, and then have it contrast colors to go with that. So a lot of contrast, and then a lot of clean black to like really like boom, get, separate the colors from each other, separate the motives. So a lot of like clean black makes simple motives, not too much small detailed realism, but more like boom, like simple black and some colors, but not too many colors. That's my opinion though. The Scandinavian way just blurted out. Yeah. I get to say hi to both Phoebe and you in Stockholm. Me and my boyfriend are swinging by. Cool, Jolers. Awesome. In the UK, there's also seems to be a lack of trust when it comes to showing the design to the client before the appointment. Some will actually refuse to show you until you're in the shop. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, a lot of artists do that, and I just think they're fooling themselves. They're making it hard for the client to trust them. And that is it's the biggest sort of, what do you call that? It's the biggest asset you can give to a client. Because it doesn't matter how good tattoo artist you are and how good you can tattoo if you can't have trust with the client. If you can't make the client trust you in a nice way, then what's the freaking point? Like, why would you ever tattoo if you can't be trustable? You know what I mean? Yes, and a lot of tattoo artists are like that, sadly. I do it a whole different other way, which I love my workflow now, and it seems like my clients love it as well. So I usually have a consultation first, just well, it's a little bit to talk to see, is this something that I want to do? Is it something that I feel like, okay, I can create a masterpiece for this artist, for this client? And it's also for the client. Do they feel like they can trust me? Am I someone, do they get a connection with me? Do they feel this chemistry? Like, yeah, do they want me to tattoo them after this conversation? So that's like the first consultation that I have. I usually do that in the shop or through video consultations like Zoom. And then if we go to the next step, which is to design the tattoo, they get homework. And I tell them on this consultation how the homework works and whatever I want them to do to get everything ready, so they prepare for the most part and make this sort of collection ready for the design session. And that is a 1 hour design session. I can do that sometimes through video. I've done that several times now. And I even have a client from the US. I can't remember which city or state, but he's going to fly in like next year sometime. And we're going to have one more design session, because this is a sleeve, a full sleeve, which is also a cover up on dark skin. So it's very interesting, and he's going to fly to Norway to get this done. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so then I have video consultations or video design sessions, and I create the design with the client so that the client can look at every single step I do, because of many reasons. They can see what I'm doing. They can object like, oh, can we not have that there? Or can we please not have any red or whatever? And they can object and like ask me questions. And I just work like, and I think out loud so they can hear what I'm thinking, what I'm doing. And usually they just sit and like, this is so cool. I love looking like, wow, I'm so like impressed of, this is actually possible. How do you do this? I'm like, but this is just my experience. And they see me working for them every single second, and I get to charge for this session, because of course they see me working my ass off for this hour to make a beautiful design, customly made for them, totally unique. No one else has this, and they gladly pay for this design session, because then I give them the design. It's theirs. They can do whatever they want with the design. But now, do you want me to tattoo it as well? So that makes them trust me also better. We have this more talk, the connection that we have a dialogue, and they see what is going on and everything. So I think that's making them trust me also. So sorry. One tattooer refused to finish my sleeve because it's not my style. I mean, what the fuck? Yes, that's one of the artistic chapters. Like, it's not their style. Yeah, of course. It's like you want to have a musician that makes heavy metal music and you want him to play classic piano at your wedding. It's not his style. Of course. Of course it's not his style. Why would you want a heavy metal musician to play classic piano in your wedding? It's not like, oh, every musician is a musician. So every chef is a tattoo, like every chef is making sushi and burgers? Do you understand what I mean? I'm just being blunt because, of course, they have to refuse because of the style. If they have enough of they are fully booked and they have the capacity to say no. But if they're a beginner and they have nothing to do, you know, and they sit around waiting for clients, they should take it even though it's not their style, because they need the client, they need the money, they need the experience to level up. Maybe they could even tell you, this is cool, but my style is more like this. Is this something you would like? And they could ask you, like, what do you think about this style, you know? And why would you go to that artist that does that style and you want him to do some other style? Wouldn't you rather go to a tattoo artist that does this style that you like, that you want? You know what I mean? If you want sushi, you go to a sushi chef and not a burger chef. That's my, yeah. You're very interactive with it. I would also be happy to pay for a design session back and forth. True. That's what my clients say as well. It's like, I'd rather pay, you know, for 1 hour to watch this. And it's like being created in front of me. And the clients are a part of it. They're not sitting at home waiting for something in their blind and like, yeah, I hope my design is going to be good. And then the tattoo artist has to be home at night. Instead of watching Game of Thrones, they have to be working. And that design is going to take 3 or 4 hours, not 1 hour with a client. So they're working for free at home as soon as the kids go to sleep, and they're working their asses off at night on their free time for free. And it takes longer. So why not just... But yeah, that's my thing. No wonder you have customers flying in to be your client. You're the best. It's that simple. Oh, Elin. Thank you. But thank you. The tattoo shop in my town has a policy that we don't get to see the design ahead of time. The artists do great work, but that policy is annoying. Yes, I think that would be annoying as well. I think if, like when I went to get my chest done, ta-da, you know, this thing here, it's not the middle of the chest, it's just the stuff around it, ta-da, it's some boob work. And I trust this tattoo artist so much. All I knew is that I want her to tattoo something nice, and I sent her some like keywords, like I want like flower things, some peony or magnolias maybe, and I want a spider and some spider web, and I want maybe some patterns or like this now I can't even remember what it is called, but you know, those right there, I can't remember what it's called, but you know what I mean. So, and she was like, okay, cool. So she made some sketches.
Et par sushi-restauranter nær deg. Den første Kurus Sushi Oslo I Frydenlundgata 1, Oslo. Den andre Sushi og Dinner I
Hey Google,
1.
stop. Okay, I didn't want sushi restaurants in the neighborhood. So she made some small sketches out of just making small pieces ready. So that when I came in, she didn't have a design ready. She had some pieces, ideas ready. Like, we could maybe have this peony. And she showed me one peony and like in different sizes and everything. And she was just like testing, that could be there. And do you like this or that, you know? So, and I like that because I trust her. And I was like, I didn't have to see anything before I went there because I know that whatever she's going to do, it's going to be awesome. So I understand some artists that they don't want to show the artwork before. That's just because a lot of them are doing that last minute, working their ass off at home at night. Oh my God, I have this thing tomorrow morning. I have to draw something up. That's what most of them do. So you can't see it before. That's just because they don't want to promise like, 3 days and 3 days before. They don't want to, they can't promise you like that. They don't dare to promise you anything. So they say, you're not going to see anything before the session. That's just because they don't want to promise. They can't promise you. So for me, in all of my years of experience, it just seems lazy, in my opinion. Like they're just avoiding the responsibility. Tattoo artists don't want responsibility. I know, because I don't want responsibility. One artist said to me she wanted to show it because once the client showed it to all her friends on social media, and everyone looked at it and does it, that should be changed. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And I mean, that's also, Adam, that's also why I make the design with the client, period. So they don't walk around showing it to all of their friends. And if I create a design with a client and they, you know, I send them the design, like, yes, okay, we had the design session, you paid for the design. It's up to you to do whatever you want with it. And if they should walk around like, oh, and all of their friends are like, you should change this, blah, blah, blah. You want me to change something? Of course. We'll just have one more design session that I charge for. And you sit with me and tell me everything you want to change, no problem. But I'm charging by the minute. You know? This is how I am with my artist. I come to her with a broad idea and tell her, make it hers and have fun. Yes, I love that. I've seen several artists say that they don't even draw until the night before, if not in the morning of a tattoo appointment. So they may not show people the design because they simply don't have it. Yes, exactly. What do you do is so rare, though you're the only tattooist I've seen who designs a tattoo with a client. Yes, it is very rare. I just discovered it in a way, like I started including the client more and more, and I noticed over time that, you know what? I actually spend more time working on a design if I don't have the client with me. And I usually get to do more changes if the client is not there because I'm working on my own. I have my own ideas, and they're like, oh, it's nice, but it's like that. I don't remember talking about that because I get creative and I do my own stuff. But it's better to be creative and then the client is here and I'm like, you know what? I got a great idea. How about we do this? And they're like, that sounds cool. Interesting. Can you show me what you mean? I'm like this. Cool, you know? Or they're like, nah, not too keen on that. And I'm like, okay. And I work on this digital on an app and I don't draw by hand. It takes forever. So to draw and to design on Procreate on an iPad with the client next to me is what I always do. I thought I should end this actually it's just my idea right now. But let's just go through the list one final time here. Where did I put that? Oh, it's there. Okay. So, can I zoom in on that? No, I cannot. Why can I not? Can't I just do... Oh, I can do a screenshot of that. Like this. And I'll just add that there, and you see this little list here, right? So, just to sum things up, and then I'm going to show you a bonus afterwards. I'm going to show you some new designs that I made the last days, if you want to see it. Why tattooers refuse tattoos? So, it's one category is the artistic one, with artist integrity, you know? Like, I don't do this. I don't like doing that. And that is totally fine if they are not, if they're fully booked and they can pick and choose and do everything they want to do, of course they can do whatever they want. Then they can say no to anything. But as long as you're like the beginner and you need the experience, you should do everything artistically. Because it's all about, after a while, it's about your style, what you love to do, and it's, of course, the pride. Then is the moral category. So the mental, emotional ways with the political views or provoking stuff, or if it's just negative in any way, I think it's totally fine to refuse stuff like that. But then also try to maybe bend the motives into something positive, instead of just refusing it. But like try to find another way to make the client's dream come true, but in a way that you can. Technical, like placement and size and details, we didn't talk about that. So I would refuse placements and size. Like I don't want to do small tattoos just because I can't say no to anything. I don't want to do a lot of like some placements like intimate places. Why would I do that? Nah, I don't think that's, my dream spot to tattoo. So I say no. And details, like for example, some things are just impossible to do. So it's more like this technical thing. Like, you can't have the alphabet on your finger. It's impossible. It's not impossible to tattoo it, but it's impossible to see it after it's healed, and especially after a few years, And then, as Amber had in mind, it was the client issues, another category, which is a really good category. If it's the client that has the issues, the bad hygiene or the poor attitude or any other, like, maybe they have a history of not showing up, or maybe they have a history of not paying for the tattoo. You get sort of blacklisted and you can't get you get refused all the time. So that was a little summary of what is the most normal, usual things to refuse as a tattoo artist, right? Two clients canceled their tattoo last minute for me to draw for free. I charge $50 non-refundable appointment fee, so I get paid for my work no matter what. Yeah, that's what I think is a good way to like find a way so that you are safe from people like that. Like, so you don't want to work for free as a tattoo artist. I mean, nobody wants to work for free. So why should a tattoo artist do that? Why is it that people think that it's totally fine for tattoo to work for free? I don't like making appointments online. I want to sit with a client and talk about tattoo. Yeah, I mean, that's totally understandable. It's just that for me, that I have that many clients that are traveling far to get here. So not everyone has the ability to just come in here to have a talk. It's going to take, it's going to cost them flights and hotels and everything. So I don't mind having these video consultations at all. So it's just my way of trying to make it work the best way possible for my clients, so I make them happy. I want a 5-star review from my clients, not just because of the tattoo, but because of the whole journey, the whole experience, the whole feeling, the vibe, how they get treated. That has a lot of tattoo artists, they don't give a shit about that. They just want to do the tattoo, want to have it on their Instagram feed, and then they're like, they don't care about the client's time or money or whatever. I just, sorry, I have to wave to the camera again and stop. Sorry. So let's see. It's not always going to work against them. Sometimes if I see the design before, it makes me more motivated if it's really good. Yeah, of course. I'll refuse face tattoo. Well, that's in the placement genre. So I mean, some refuse some places, some placements, and I feel that is totally fine. But again, I would say if it is a moral issue or if it is an experiment, like experience issue, you know, do you refuse it because it's hard, or do you refuse it because it's morally wrong? I mean, that's up to you to decide, of course. Art in general is something people should be done for free. It's ridiculous, yes. Do you travel to other places to tattoo? I'm doing some conventions. I'm doing Stockholm in August, Berlin in September, and New York in October. So that's going to be a lot of fun. How do sessions with a cover-up how do sessions work with a cover-up? Do you have to pay all the money up front, or do tattoo artists work with customers? I charge, every artist usually charges, vent lite, I'm doing some text in her. There we go. I'm gonna have to finish, you guys. But every tattoo artist usually charges after every session. So when you're done for the day, you pay the artist that day session rate or whatever it is, usually. And some charge deposits up front. I don't do that. I have a business thing that if they don't show up, I can just send them a bill instead, because they get informed that if you don't show up, you're gonna get a bill of this and this much. So usually my clients show up. So deposits are just such a hassle. Ugh, I hate it. So yeah, I just bill them if they don't show up. But yeah, so I never charge anything like upfront. It's after every session. If I could afford it, I'd fly to Norway to get tattooed by you, but upfront, that's not an option. Well, maybe one day, Jesse, you know, you have to keep your positive thinking and work hard for it, and it might come, you know. Maybe I will someday be closer to you, so just keep your eye out on where I'm going also. When you say you bill them, does that mean they have to legally pay you? Yes, because if they don't pay that bill, it will go to these other things, like I don't know what it's called in English, but inkasso, you know, in Norwegian. How do you keep motivated and your design's unique when sometimes it seems everything has been done before? Oh, I get inspired by the client, and they're all unique. They're all different. I just need, to find the uniqueness in them. It could go to court. Yes, it can go to court. Is age a problem for you? Age is never a problem, as long as they're above 18. Google says incasso means debt collection. Yes, so it will basically go further to debt collection if they don't pay the bill that I send them. Ta-da! So that was all I had today. I'm not going to be able to show you. I don't have the time to show you my designs, but I will do that the next time. Okay. Or just remind me. So the Tat Chat is going to be back in 2 weeks. So it's like every other week. But look out on my YouTube, which is right there, where you'll see the next streams that I have. But sometimes I just pop up with a new, like, unexpected surprise stream. So remember, remember to click on the bell on my YouTube channel, if you're on YouTube, so that you will get a reminder, and do those things so you actually get a notification when I go live, because started to go live more and more with especially live tattooing, but I'm also doing these ink mentor things, so more like tattoo educational things. And I'm going to, on Twitch, I'm going to be streaming gaming at home. So if you want to see me do gaming stuff, then you have to go to my Twitch and follow me there. So I would have to say thank you for joining me on this Tat Chat show right now. Did you say something about a tattoo convention in New York? Yes, the Tat Chat, the tattoo convention, no, the New York Tattoo Convention.com. It's also on Instagram. You will see it on my website as well. It's going to be up in the events, in the menu. You'll see the events. So I have to go. But yeah, thank you for joining me here on the Tat Chat. And I'll see you on the Tat Chat in 2 weeks. But I'll see you on both YouTube and Twitch for a lot of different streams. Okay? So see you next time. Okay? Bye-bye.
This is the Tat Chat with Electric Linda.